Scott Fitzgerald was one of the most iconic American writers of the 20th century, known for his sharp portrayals of the Jazz Age and the disillusionment of the American dream. Born as Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald on September 24, 1896, in St. Paul, Minnesota, he was named after his distant cousin, Francis Scott Key, the man who penned the U.S. national anthem. Fitzgerald's early years were marked by a blend of privilege and instability. His father, Edward Fitzgerald, was a failed businessman, while his mother, Mary McQuillan, came from a wealthy Irish Catholic family. Despite the family's financial challenges, his mother's inheritance allowed him access to elite schools and social circles. From a young age, Fitzgerald was fascinated by literature. He began writing stories and plays during his school years, and his literary talents blossomed during his time at the Newman School and later at Princeton University. However, he struggled academically at Princeton and eventually dropped out. In 1917, to join the U.S. Army during World War I, Fitzgerald never saw combat, but while stationed in Alabama, he met the woman who would become his muse and later his wife, Zelda Sayre. Zelda was beautiful, ambitious, and the epitome of Southern charm. Their love story was both passionate and tragic, filled with creativity, indulgence, and eventually, despair. To win Zelda's hand, Fitzgerald knew he had to achieve literary success. In 1920, he published his debut novel, This Side of Paradise. The novel was a tremendous success, making him an overnight literary sensation. That same year, he and Zelda married, becoming the golden couple of the Roaring Twenties. Fitzgerald followed his debut with several more celebrated works, including The Beautiful and Damned and his masterpiece, The Great Gatsby, published in 1925. Although Gatsby is now considered one of the greatest American novels ever written, it received mixed reviews and modest sales at the time. The novel tells the story of J. Gatsby, a mysterious millionaire with a romantic obsession, and it captures the dazzling excess and deep cynicism of the era. The Fitzgeralds lived extravagantly, traveling across America and Europe, especially Paris, where they joined the circle of expatriate writers known as the Lost Generation, including Ernest Hemingway. Despite their glamorous lifestyle, the couple's life was marred by financial troubles, alcoholism, and Zelda's deteriorating mental health. Zelda was eventually diagnosed with schizophrenia and spent much of her later life in and out of mental institutions. Meanwhile, Fitzgerald struggled to maintain his writing career. He moved to Hollywood in the late 1930s to work as a screenwriter, but found little satisfaction there. In 1934, he published his final completed novel, Tender is the Night, a deeply personal work reflecting his own disillusionment. Though it was not a commercial success, it revealed his growth as a writer and human being. F. Scott Fitzgerald died of a heart attack on December 21, 1940, at the age of just 44. At the time of his death, he believed himself to be a failure. However, history proved otherwise. His work, especially The Great Gatsby, gained immense popularity after his death and became a cornerstone of American literature. Today, Fitzgerald is remembered not just as a chronicler of the Jazz Age, but as a profound observer of ambition, love, loss, and the fragility of dreams. His lyrical prose and tragic vision continue to inspire readers and writers across the world.